Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases. Unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online. And a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business. You'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
Your body isn't a problem to fix. It's a system to support. From PMS to pregnancy to menopause. Ollie's Women's Wellness line is built on real science for every stage. No guilt, no stigmas, just science-backed supplements that work with you, not against you. Choose science over shame. Find support at a retailer near you or on ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It is Jay Scott, and it is The Hook Rocks, the ultimate rock community podcast. We are celebrating our 600th episode, and I'm so happy that you have all chosen to stop by and give us a listen, and that you've chosen to stop by more than once. This is not the first time for most of you, and I do appreciate your support, and I do appreciate you letting me indulge myself in music talk and all the things that I've been doing since, it's coming up on 5 years. It'll be 5 years in June. So thank you very much. As I always mention, we are part of the Pantheon Podcast Network, a great network of music-related podcasts. Something for everyone on the platform of Pantheon, including the official Metallica podcast. So check that out and more. Don Jameson, the rock and roll comedian, has just joined as well. So we're excited about that. And don't forget to set your app to automatic download so you get the latest episodes right to your phone. We've had some great guests recently. We celebrated the 40th anniversary of Stay Hungry, the great Twisted Sister album with Dee Snider. We also welcomed in Lita Ford. We also welcomed in Michael Starr of Steel Panther. Some great new bands along the way like Tuck Smith, The Gems, and many others. And we've got a great guest for our 600th episode. He's been on before. We had a great conversation about vinyl, our vinyl collection, our music collection, and what we like to listen to. It was a great conversation. It was a couple years ago, and that is the guitar player of Blackberry Smoke, Mr. Paul Jackson. What's happening, man? How are you?
What's happening? I'm doing good. You doing good?
I'm doing good, man. Holding down the fort here in the Chicago area. You know, no complaints.
Nice.
Very little complaints, but you know, that's just life.
Man, I was just how many years was Stay Hungry again? You said
40th anniversary.
Wow. I remember getting that cassette when it came out.
I know, right?
I have it on vinyl now, of course, but oh, dude, such a great record. It's crazy. 40 years. It still holds up.
It totally holds up. Like Burn in Hell and songs. I mean, just, you know, I was telling Dee that the great thing about that album was how it puts the listener in the song. I want to rock. Yeah. We're not going to take it. You know, it was so magical for a young kid to hear that.
Yeah, man, it's just one of those, and a few of those songs actually are the ones that you can go, man, I wish I wrote that song. You know, I mean, I want to rock. Come on. It's a great song.
I mean, the way he intros that with his voice, it's like, it was so great. And, you know, just thinking of that whole period of time of music back in the mid 80s like that and all the stuff that was coming out, that album is so important to that whole decade. It's so important.
Yeah. You are absolutely right.
It helped lift off MTV, like literally. I mean, like, you know, there was Van Halen and there's some other bands too as well, but those videos, you know, with the guy from, what was it?
Niedermeyer.
Niedermeyer. Yeah. I mean, dude, you're a young kid. You're watching it like, this is like so cool. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And just with the outfits they had and everything. I mean, if you're a young kid, how did you not get sucked into that?
I always thought it was really cool. Sorry, I'm ranting about it now that we're on the
No.
conversation. I always thought it was cool back then. Like that video, for me, it might have been the first one I saw that had like a pre-story before the song came on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought it was so cool, man. I was like, this is awesome. And I remember drawing that logo on my, folders, you know, your folders, kids, the folders, those who don't know, are things we kept our work in that we did at school on paper.
So true. And the first couple weeks of school, we decorated our folders with rock band
Yeah.
logos. Twisted
Yeah,
Sister, Van Halen was a big logo. Kiss was a big logo, right? And
Yeah,
Ram
dude,
with the two
totally.
T's,
He had AC/DC logo. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and that
That's
was like
awesome.
a rite of passage.
Yeah, it totally was. That's
And
awesome. Anyway,
I remember having a clear, not a clear backpack, but like it was like a sack. It wasn't a backpack. It was a sack that I threw
a
over my
sack.
shoulder. And
Yeah.
it was beige, and it had my school logo on it, but the rest was just open. And I would sit at night and just take a marker and write a collage of all these logos, draw all these logos on my sack, on my bag. And yeah, that was when things were cool, man. That was awesome.
Yeah. It's such good times. I tell my kids about it, and they're just like, man, I wish we grew up in that era. And I'm like, I wish you did too. But it was, it was awesome.
My son says the same thing. Like, we'll be in the car and I'll hear a song, like like Duran Duran, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'll go, that was pop music in my generation. He's like, are you serious? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. He goes, they actually play the instruments in pop music? I'm like, they used to.
They used to. I know it sounded techno, but they were actually playing those keyboard parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's great. Another great band. I love that band.
Yeah, very, very underrated.
Man, I was listening to the Squeeze the other day, or yesterday, actually, not the other day.
Wow.
I remember they had, God, what is the name of the song? Black Coffee in Bed, da-da-doo, da-da-doo. Anyway, I was listening to that stuff. Anyway.
What was their big song though? Was that their big song?
Tempted by the fruit
Yes.
of another.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Little bit of a nerd in me.
Well, I think every music fan that has been a fan for 40 plus years has some, nerdism in them, right?
Dude, I agree. I totally agree.
Back in the day, we used to know every song on the album. We used to know the sequence of the album. We used to know side A and side B, and that just doesn't happen anymore. And I think
we used to know all the band members.
Right. We used to read the liner notes.
Yeah. And the smell of those the smell of vinyl and the cassettes and stuff like that. It was hilarious.
Have you made a visit down to any vinyl shops lately?
I did. I went to our shop in Noonan, Georgia, Vinyl Light Records down here on the square, and I got Dio's Last in Line, or was it a Holy Diver? Anyone, the one where the record spins. I can't remember what they call those things. And Murray, his little hand is moving while the record's playing.
I think that's Holy Diver, maybe.
It's Holy Diver. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's Last in Line.
Is it?
It's Last in Line. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind here. It's Last in Line, definitely. But yeah, it's got we have one made too. I just forgot the name of what they call those kind of records. It's, the emotion thing. The record spins while you're looking at the picture on the record. The little hand moves.
Picture disc.
Well, it's a picture disc, but it has movement on it while the record's spinning. If that makes any sense. Yeah.
Huh.
I cannot remember what they call those things. It starts with an F, but anyway.
I just had Vinny Appice on in March, I want to say. Yeah, it was March. Right. And we were talking about the 40th anniversary of Last in Line. And he shares this great story of John Lennon, his mother's lasagna, and the Italian mother pan that you make the lasagna in. It's a great story.
Oh, man. That's awesome. We were doing the Download Festival, which for us would be Donington at our age, because we knew it as Donington. And we were backstage, and we went on, I think, right after they did, it was the Last in Line band, Benny Appice, Phil Sassoon, and Vivian Campbell,
Yeah.
and the singer escapes me, but he was awesome, by the way. We're sitting backstage, and it was muddy. It's always muddy back there. And Vinny comes up to me and goes, "Hey, man, how you doing?" And I was starstruck, of course. He starts talking to me about my shoes, how I kept my shoes so clean and all that mud. And what I had was, they looked like black Vans, but they were black Crocs, with a white sole.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Oh, man, these are Crocs. I just wash them out in the sink and put them back on my feet." He couldn't believe it. He goes, "I've got to get me some of those." But anyway, I thought that was a good little moment.
Yeah, that story that he tells in that interview, because he played on a John Lennon song, and Carmine, his brother, was the drummer in John Lennon's last performance in New York.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Dude, that is crazy.
You got to listen to the interview. He talks all about it.
Oh, I will. Yeah, definitely. I will, dude. My son's going to trip out. Spencer, he loves the Beatles. Yeah. He loves John Lennon. We listened to John Lennon's, Spencer got a pictured disc on vinyl, of his last interview. So we listened to it on the anniversary of his death a while back.
Oh,
yeah. Great.
Yeah. That's
a
cool thing to have. So how are you guys doing, man? How's the tour going? I mean, a lot to get into.
It's going good. We're pushing on through, like Brit would want us to. He would definitely want us to be back out there playing shows and not stopping. It's still hard, but we have to keep trucking because it's in our blood, in our Blackberry Smoke DNA.
Was there any thought to stopping?
No. We when we got the news that he passed, which was, things like that are eventually going to come, but I just wasn't prepared at all, period. We just decided to take that weekend of shows, because we were in Oklahoma or somewhere, on a 2-day break, and we got the call. So everybody got their stuff and came home immediately just for that weekend. And we decided to head back out because Brit wouldn't want us sitting around, so we decided to go back and get back to work.
Well, even while he was struggling towards the end there, he was missing shows and you guys kept playing. And I thought, that was, a testament to him and a testament to you guys.
Right.
About, pushing through and moving forward.
Right. It's still strange to me. We got Ken Oberly, and he's been a buddy of ours for years and really great dude, very respectful, and he, honors Brit in a great way, so, and Brit liked him a lot. So it was a no-brainer having him out there with us, playing drums.
I know what you mean about, like, you try to prepare yourself for something like that. I've had a couple experiences where, unfortunately, there is an end result of someone who is sick, and you kind of know what's going to happen. But when it does happen and that reality does strike, it's not easy. It doesn't make it any easier.
No, it sure doesn't. It sure doesn't. I'm no stranger to people passing away, especially my family. So I kind of, try to get prepared for things like this, but it just, like you just said, it hits you. It hits you, and there's nothing you can do about it. With your feelings is what I'm saying, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a twist. It twists you all up inside, but you have to maintain somehow, so I do the best I can, and we all do.
what did he mean to you personally?
Oh man. I've wrote it on social media and stuff. He was our patriarch. He just took, I know it sounds weird, but we took, guidance, from Brit, especially with our, you know, scheduling things and merchandise and stuff like that. I mean, just a good person, you know. I mean, we all of us have fought before, but that's what brothers do, and it's no big deal. But he meant a lot to me. If I had a question, I'd call him immediately, and he'd be there no matter what. So, and
Yeah.
I need those I like to have those kind of people in my life. I don't like to surround myself with people that are flaky.
Yeah, I know what you mean. As we get older, right, we want less friends, but more important friends,
Right. That's a good way. That needs to be on a shirt.
I've always believed that though. Like, you kind of shed the drama people in your life, the people that are very confrontational, the people that there's always an issue, and you kind of just want people or you want to surround yourself with people that love you, the people that want to be your friend and know what friendship really does mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked at myself, my relationship with Brit was one of those people that I didn't need anything from Brit. He didn't need anything from me. We were just, friends. And that's what I like, because, a lot of times in the world, you find people that have friends just because those people can do something for that person. And I'm not into that much. So we're just friends.
Yeah, and that's important, when you live your life, I mean, it's not so much about what people can do for you, it's about who you can count on, and who doesn't judge you, who's just going to always be around to listen to you and give you some advice and be supportive of you and
Right.
whatnot. I mean, that's the benefit of a good friend. The benefit shouldn't be of someone catapulting you into something else or using them to get to somebody else or something like that.
I totally agree. 1,000%. That's just my belief. That's just my belief. I don't know about,
yeah,
how it works for everybody else, but.
Well, I never knew Brit, but my friend and you know him as well, who passed away last year, Crash Crafton, who was very, very important to this show when it first started out. Crash was really supportive, and I know Crash went through some health problems, and there'd be times where Crash would be talking to me about Brit, and just a phone call from Brit was able to lift his spirits up, and it meant a lot to Crash. While
that's
Crash
awesome.
went through all his stuff too as well.
Yeah, that was another one I didn't see coming at all, period. So I was blown away hearing that news too. So yeah. Well, that's good to know that he liked to hear from Brit. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was hear the stories of like Brit's mentoring of him and stuff, and because I don't want to get too much into it, but Crash didn't have an easy life, and Brit was always there. I mean, here's a guy who's touring constantly and has his own family and stuff, and he would take time for Crash and help him in any way he could. And I always thought that was just incredible, to help a guy that's down and out when you can just kind of dismiss him and forget about him. But Brit never did, and I thought that was just incredible for him to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's just like I think of things. What I'm going to miss a lot is just obviously the drumming, but he's just, I don't really think people realize how funny he was. He's just funny as hell. Every day was a laugh fest around that dude. It's just, I don't know, just him doing weird things, even as changes his voice going, hey, it's just hilarious. I still laugh at all that stuff, and that's something that I get to, keep with me, that's a personal thing I get to keep. It's just hilarious. He was just so funny, but outside of being cool as hell, but he was just hilarious. Yeah.
And and I'm sure too, like when he was going through, his sickness, he probably still maintained that sense of humor too.
Oh man, he totally. We would go over to his house and he would, even if he had minor shortness of breath, he'd still say something hilarious and we would just crack up. I was laughing the last time I saw him, actually. He was making me laugh, but yeah, he's going to be missed. That's for sure.
Yeah. Did you guys kind of rally around each other too, as well? Like when this happened, like, hey, you mentioned Brit wanted you guys to continue, but I'm sure everybody felt the same way you did, or you do. And, I mean, just to kind of mourn together while being on the road together, it's probably got to be helpful in a way as well.
Yeah. When we got the news, some of the guys, like I said, we had 2 days off and I stayed out on the road with the buses and Spencer and Kent and Preston and, a couple of guys flew home, but we all rallied that day together because we were together, like our crew, and Kent walked right up to me and give me a hug, and so Preston, it was a quiet day, because we wanted to be home, to be there for, Shannon and Lana if they needed us, and our own families too, because, my kids knew Brit and my wife knew Brit and my mom knew Brit, it's just, we weren't able to, physically be around one another, but the rest of us out on the road, we all rallied together, and it was a quiet ride home. And then we started talking about funny things, about Brit. So that helped us get home. It was a long day and a half ride home.
One of the things that, for people who don't know the history of Blackberry Smoke and what the band is about, it truly is a family.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally is.
And you guys are on the road a long time together, and you guys spend a lot of time together. So, like you said, brothers do fight and brothers do argue. I mean, I've got a brother myself, so I know exactly what that is. But there is a family unit that is touring across the country, and I've always been amazed by that, because in the day and age of music that we live in, how different the industry is. A lot of guys may take a gig that may pay more. A lot of guys go find something else that's more, maybe they don't tour as much, but you guys just seem to have found each other, when you guys first formed and through the years and everything, that everyone seems to kind of love the mentality and want to be a part of this whole family.
Yeah. I knew when the initial four of us got together, Britt, Richard, Charlie, and myself, when we played probably the first song we ever played together in a rehearsal room, I knew we were lifers at that point. We were Blackberry Smoke lifers at that point. So, and then everybody else that come after, Brandon, he knew he was in it for life too. Even though he was like, what did I get myself into? No, I'm just kidding. He knew immediately also, so. But it is, we're all, it's a family environment kind of thing. So you're right.
Were you guys happy to get this last album with Brit on it? I mean, that was probably important for you guys too.
Oh my God. Yes. I just, even though Brit was going through what he was going through, he's in the studio killing it. You know what I mean? He was just, and I was sitting there just like, man, this is so badass. I mean, he was a monster. It was, just, I spent a lot of time watching him play, while, cause I sat across from him, cause we were all in a circle doing it, playing together. So it was just so blessing to watch him do it, I mean, he's always been flawless in the studio anyway, but it was just cool because we all know that he was, a little at times he'd feel good, sometimes he would, but he just didn't care. He was killing it anyway. When Brit got around music, it felt like $1 million, if that makes any sense. It's awesome. It was awesome. But yeah, we're happy that the record got out and we toured on it, so with him. So that's very cool.
Yeah. In the day and age where, each album kind of signifies a diary entry or a, moment in time. It's cool for you guys to have this album to kind of define, to be the final piece of his career in the band.
Right. Yeah. We're so proud of it, and when I hear the songs on it, and I'm just like, man, I'm so happy that he was definitely on that record. And like I said, was just killing it every day. I mean, I have a smile on my face thinking about it while I'm telling you this, because it was just so cool. His drum parts get done really quick because he's right on the money all the time. Yeah. So
this was a little bit of a different approach on this album. Well, not completely, but there are some songs on there that obviously sound like Blackberry Smoke, but there are a couple of differences, like a couple of different tones and maybe a couple of different arrangements that Blackberry Smoke fans weren't used to hearing.
Yeah, we didn't take a bunch of amps with us. I was going to initially just use one amp on the record, but my amp that I brought, I think after the 7th song we got done, kind of teetered out a little bit. So I used one of Dave Cobb's amps to finish out the record. And they were tiny amps. We didn't bring our Marshalls and stuff like that. It was a small amp record, and Charlie did the same. Benji did the same. Normally we would be switching tones and switching, heads and stuff, but we just kept at it with what we had. And I think after we did the initial, the tracks and all that stuff, and then we went down to Savannah. Dave has a studio down there. Charlie, myself, Benji went down there, and we did maybe a couple guitar solos on one amp, a small amp, and then Charlie did some vocals and I did some backing vocals, and that was that. We're pretty quick in the studio anyway, but yeah, we got it done in a short amount of time, like we always do.
What was the difference between this album and You Hear Georgia?
The new material and the vibe of it to me is way different. Way different. And you can tell in the songs, the tempos and the melodies, and, it's, I don't know, there was a different energy and a different mindset going in and doing it, I don't know if Brit's condition at the time had anything to do with that. But the songs, to me, were the difference. They felt different to me, Yeah,
You Hear Georgia to me is a little grittier.
Right.
And right here is a little more smooth.
Right. Another thing, I don't think people know it, but on Azalea, Brit played that with his hands. He didn't play with drumsticks.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
He was beating on the kit with his hands. That's why it's got that kind of really cool sound to it. Some people use mallets, some people, don't, but he was using his hands on that song, which I thought was cool. Anyway, that's just a little thing.
No, that's really interesting to hear that. I'm going to listen to that song again after we get done and try to pick that up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Obviously not the kick drum, but the toms and the snare, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And Dave Cobb, you guys have used now a few times. What's it like?
Yeah.
What's it like recording with him? And because he looks for more of that organic live feel, right?
Yes. Yes. That's what he wanted. Definitely this record too. I mean, we've never recorded, you know, any other way except together. The last couple records we did, our amps were in different places, but this time they were with us in the room with us, you know? Um, Brandon was on the piano next to us on what he needed to be on, and we were just all together. And I put it this way, when I record something at my house and I have to do it piece by piece, it kind of drives me crazy a little bit. I wish there were three more of me to, to play the instruments. But as I go, as you record individual things, it's kind of, to me, kind of takes away some of the magic of it, to me. That's just my opinion. But, yeah, Dave definitely likes the live sound, and he's a good captain steering the ship. It's always a good time when we're with Dave, for sure.
How does he get the most out of you guys?
Well, letting us, just letting us do what we do. And, he puts it to it this way. He goes, if I don't say anything, it's perfect.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases. Unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online. And a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business. You'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
At Ollie, we've got wellness down to a science. From PMS to pregnancy to menopause, our women's wellness line offers science-backed support for every stage. No judgment, no shame, none of the stigma. Just supplements designed to meet you wherever you're at. Ollie, choose science over shame. Find support at a retailer near you or on ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
So, I'm like, all right, because I kept asking him, is that cool? You down with this fight? He's like, I don't say anything. It's perfect. It's like, okay. His sense of humor is great too. So that helps.
Well, I mean, being around all you guys that are kind of like brothers, I mean, that's kind of be an interesting dynamic for him to kind of put himself in that. And obviously, the more you record with him, the more comfortable he gets, the more comfortable you guys get.
Yeah, he knows how to work fast too. He does, and have a good time doing it. And that's what it's all about in my mind. I mean, he knows how to get what he wants out of us, and we work pretty good and fast and crack up the entire time. He's a good person to be around.
The one thing I notice about you guys, and you may have talked about this in the last interview, is how you really are a champion for younger bands, that open up for you. And
that's cool.
Yeah, I've seen you with the record company. I've seen you with Ida May. I mean, I've seen you with so many cool bands over the years. I mean, Ida May, I remember seeing them open up for you guys in Waukegan, Illinois, and then up in, I think it was Rockford or Belvedere, one of the two, Illinois.
Right.
And I was just like, who's Ida May? I've never heard of this band. And they blew me away. Like, wow, these guys are, I mean, it's a husband and wife. It's a two-piece, but they were phenomenal.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, oh man, okay, I know they're going out on the road. I can't wait to hear the sound. And I was like, oh shit, this is killer. They're good folks too, man.
Yeah, both their voices have so much vulnerability in it. It's so, and you have a two-piece, and one's just a guitar, and I forget her name. She sings too as well, and he does. But just the emotion adds such a different element to it, and it makes it more powerful.
Yeah, and it's like if you're a two-piece like that, you better come out swinging, and they do. You know what I mean? They come out swinging when they're playing live. I'm just like, all right. I was so into it. Still am. You know?
How do you guys choose bands?
Sometimes we kind of mention things and then just the word gets around, you know, and sometimes I'm like, I'll get out on the road and go, oh, they're opening. This is amazing. This is awesome. I haven't had a chance to see them, you know, that kind of thing. I like to be surprised too, you know?
I was talking with Dax Nielsen last year, and he was talking about a show that Cheap Trick did in St. Louis.
Right.
And he was talking about Feel, because Feel opened up for him.
Oh yeah. Phil, another great dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And he's like, I'm in my dressing room and I hear this band and I'm like, who the hell is that? And he got out of his dressing room and the whole band, Cheap Trick, was on the side of the stage. They all got out of their dressing room and like we're all watching the band on the side of the stage. It was an incredible moment. This band is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Haven't had a chance to see them live. Definitely go. Because I think we have a couple, I think and hope we have a couple more shows to do with them. They were out on this run with us, so far, and hopefully we'll get a chance to be with them again and play some shows together. Yeah, they're great. Great. Raw. They're raw, just straight up. Just badassness, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree 100%, man. I love their stuff. I mean, the limited stuff that's out there is absolutely incredible. And you kind of just want more from them. You're like, man, like we need more music from this band.
Yeah, totally.
In the day and age of how things are promoted and how things are put together on tours, it seems like a lot of tours are put together because someone buys in or because somebody has the streaming numbers. It seems though that you guys put people on the road with you because you like them and you want to support new music, which I think is completely against, you know, the current of music these days.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. If you like there's a band you like and you have you're in a position to get them heard, why not? I don't, you know, why not bring them out? What's it going to hurt? It'll just help them. And the people that come see you have new music to listen to also. You know, I just think that's the way it should be, you know, instead of pay me this and you can play, which I know it is done in the industry, but I prefer it not to be that way.
Well, that's how it used to be. Like we were just talking about Twisted Sister in the 40th anniversary. Back then, like bands went out because, and even before that in the 70s, bands went out because they liked the band or
totally,
you know, someone at the label thought it'd be a good pairing. It wasn't about how much money can they get on to be on the tour.
Right.
And it just seems so, I don't know, man. It just seems like there's so much going against a new band and a new artist these days that we need more Blackberry Smokes who support these new artists and are willing to take on these new artists on a tour.
Yeah.
To them expose them to another audience or more people.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Everybody did that. Everybody who came up, all these big legendary bands that are out there now that are, you know, bands are paying their way on these tours. That wasn't how they got discovered. And I just wish they would pay that forward. But I also get that a lot of them don't have the control that they would want. A lot of it is put together by the promoter, by Live Nation, all that kind of stuff, because they got to sell tickets. So
yeah.
it sucks that it's like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I couldn't be comfortable with myself. If I was like, okay, pay me this. And you could come on the road. It defeats the purpose. Like you were just saying, you know, take them out, take bands out you like so other people can hear them and get them heard. And when they come back around, they'll have an audience to come see them. You know, I mean, Jackal did that for us, you know. When we first went out, God, we played with Jackal a lot and they took us everywhere. And we went back immediately by ourselves and played in little clubs, small places, played in restaurants. Boom, boom, and our audience got growing. That's how it was organically done that way. You know, we didn't pay them a dime, and they paid us no dimes. I just kidding. No, we had a good time with them. They were fun too. I miss those guys. I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, no, they always put on a hell of a show. I remember seeing
God,
them day.
they're great. They're
But,
great.
you know, it just with the chainsaw and all that stuff, and it
Yeah,
gets
I mean,
crazy.
you have Jesse fronting your band. I mean, how much better can it get? That's awesome.
What are some of the bands over the years that you've opened for that you were starstruck or couldn't believe that you were playing with?
Oh, I could tell you right away. Excuse me. We were out with, it was us, Bad Company, and Leonard Skinner. We got to know Skinner over the years, and Sweethearts, even their crew they're all sweethearts. It's awesome. But Paul Rogers, I kind of spaced. I waited by his dressing room to come out because I just wanted to shake his hand. And when he walked out, I ran off. He's like one of my favorite singers of all time. I think he's one of the greatest rock and roll singers ever. You know?
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, the stuff in Bad Company is absolutely phenomenal. The stuff in Free is great.
Yep.
I think it was the Paul Rogers band that he had for a bit too.
Yeah. The Firm.
Awesome.
Remember the Firm?
Yeah, with Jimmy Page. I mean, come on.
That's that first Firm record. I think I have that on vinyl too. That's a great, what do they call it? Underrated record.
Yes.
The whole thing is killer. I mean, come on. I mean, the musicians in that band, jeez.
What'd you have?
I mean, and
Franklin?
Huh?
On
Tony
Page?
Franklin, yeah.
And who's the drummer?
Yeah. Oh, God, what's the dude's name? The bald guy that plays with AC/DC sometimes.
I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about.
That dude and Jimmy Page on guitar, Tony Franklin on bass, and Paul Rogers on guitar and vocals. I mean, if that ain't a powerhouse, geez Louise. You know? And speaking of Paul Rogers, Freddie Mercury thinks one of his favorite singers, then you're an amazing singer. You know, Freddie Mercury loved Paul Rogers too.
Yeah.
You know, remember he did that Queen thing.
Yeah.
And I think the reason was, from what I heard, that Freddie Mercury said something like that was one of his favorite singers. If he ever wanted to do something like that, get Paul Rogers to sing for Queen. And I guess they did a show because of that or something. You can look it up on YouTube. It's amazing.
I think they did a whole tour with him.
Oh, he did a whole tour. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm bummed I missed it.
Yeah, me too.
Excuse me. Man.
Me too. I am definitely sad that I missed that because, I mean, his whole career, I mean, Paul Rogers is like, I mean, I always say for me, it's Freddie Mercury, Robert Plant, and Paul Rogers.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And we were in sound check when Bad Company was doing sound check, just sitting there going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm out here watching this. This is crazy. It's crazy. Every night was great. Anyway.
Yeah, I took my son to see Bad Company a few years ago. And he was like, Bad Company. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, they're okay. I go, okay. I go, you got to see Paul Rogers. He's one of the greats. He's like, he's the legend. And he walked out of that show like, that was awesome, Dad. That was incredible. Yeah,
wake up, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just saying.
Right?
Just saying.
100%.
Hey, at least Foreigner got in this year.
Another great vocalist, Lou Grant.
Totally, dude.
The whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing. That's a whole.
That could be like a panel of people talking. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, how does Cher get in before Iron Maiden and before Bad Company and before some of these other bands? I don't know.
I don't get it either. I'm like still waiting for Iron Maiden to get in there, you know? I remember when Judas Priest got in, I was ecstatic about it. I was like, I felt like I made it into the Hall of Fame at that point.
Yeah.
And the same with Journey. I've been waiting for years when Journey and Cheap Trick and everybody got in. I was like, okay, I can breathe a little easy now. You know?
I don't understand how they wait on some of these bands and how they dismiss them, and then like some other people get picked, and you're like, before these guys. I mean, Journey, whether you like him or not. I mean, I love Journey. Journey was one of my first bands that I discovered when I was a young kid.
Yeah, I'm a fanatic.
Wrote some of the most elite rock songs in the history of music.
Yeah. Even the stuff, also with that, even the stuff before Steve Perry, the instrumental stuff is insanity. It's just great.
Well, I still say my favorite album by Journey is Infinity.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. Honestly, I'm such a fan. It's hard for me to pick, to be quite honest. I mean, oh man.
I love that. I love that feeling that way into any time. That does it for me every time.
That's so cool. It's great.
Yeah, but I'm glad Foreigner finally got in, because Lou has just been a tremendous singer over the years, a fantastic singer, and Mick Jones just absolutely underrated as a guitar player. Just a great band.
Those songs are embedded in people's minds. And they influence a lot of other bands too. That to me, that's what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be about, and I think it started off that way. What the band's influence did for other musicians, I mean, look what Iron Maiden spawned, all these bands that came, and Judas Priest spawned, and Journey, and I mean Chuck Berry, listen to what he, it's just all that stuff. The people that are in there should have influenced other musicians. And, that's what I think the criteria should be. Not just, well, this band's popular, coming out with a new record, we're going to put them in the Hall of Fame, that kind of thing. Not any of that.
Yeah. I don't like the whole dynamic that there's people voting, and sometimes I think it gets a little too elitist, especially with like Kiss, right?
Right.
Kiss is a very polarizing band. There's people that don't like them, and there's people that love them. But you can't, even if you don't like them, you can't
deny.
Everything that they've meant to rock and roll.
And they meant a lot. They've even influenced people that have nothing to do with rock and roll.
Yeah.
That was the meaning behind it of all that stuff. And I'll go out on a limb here and talk about this. Like I said, these are just opinions of me, no one else. When NWA got in, they absolutely should have been in there. Absolutely. They influenced so many other artists, in that field. That's what that is what it's about. I mean, I love that stuff still, but they influenced a lot of other music in that genre. And I think they deserved 1,000% to be in there.
Well, NWA and Public Enemy.
Totally.
I mean, Dee Snider mentioned in the interview I just did with him that was it Chuck D? Has said that without Twisted Sister, there'd be no Public Enemy.
Oh, there's the example right there. Twisted Sister.
Because of the attitude.
That's a great example.
Yeah, because of the attitude and the take no prisoners and no bullshit kind of stuff with Twisted Sister. That was like the energy that they had was translated in Public Enemy. And then even bands before that, like Grandmaster Flash and the Sugar Hill Gang and all those early rap bands out of New York.
Yeah, it's like the word rock and roll can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, and it just doesn't mean guitars, bass, and drums. It means rock and roll. It's an attitude. It's a movement. It can mean all kinds of things to all kinds of people. But if you're influencing other artists, then that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I think should be in there.
I mean, it truly is a music Hall of Fame. It's not, a rock and roll Hall of Fame, I think, makes people upset with like what you just said. If NWA gets inducted, this is rock and roll.
They don't understand it. I guess what rock and roll it was started as was that it broadened, it went outward and it grabbed a hold of other things. So which is what it was supposed to do, you know?
And when you think about what NWA meant to like social issues in Southern California,
Yeah.
and I mean, no one heard about, I mean, people had heard about it, but on a national level, Watts in South Central was not on anyone's radar until rap, until people like Ice-T and NWA and people like that.
Exactly. I had this conversation with my son and his friend. I picked him up. They're 14. I picked him up from school and they were in the car, you know, like they do. They want to hear songs they want to hear. And I just was like, look. I get it. But if we're going to listen to rap, put this on. And I made him, I'm not allowed to, I don't know if I should cuss on here or not. But,
yeah, you can. Absolutely.
I said, put on, I know this is terrible because he was 14 years old. I said, put on NWA, fuck the police. Listen to it. Both of you listen to it and tell me in the first 30 seconds if it sucks or not. And they were like, we know this is awesome stuff. And I was like, well, this is what it is to me. That is the vibe I'm trying to explain to you. Because some of the stuff today, and I sound like an old person and I don't care. If you listen to these little shorties and little Uzis and whatever they're called, I just can't figure it out. I try. And I do have ears. I open them up and try to get behind it, but I'm like, I can't, it's not there, you know, for me. Not knocking it, but for me personally, I'm just, this new generation of rappers, I call it lazy rap because they don't really enunciate the words like they used to.
Right.
They're quiet when they're talking. I'm just like, ugh. But anyway.
Well,
that's my opinion, folks.
One of the things about creating music, and I've had this conversation with a lot of different artists, that music gives you perspective, and it gives you another viewpoint from another person. And when you hear NWA and you talk about the song "Fuck the Police," there's going to be immediate reaction from people like, "How could you say that? How could you do that?" However, what it is, it's their perspective of the environment that they're living in. And it's important for us to recognize that and to understand where they're coming from. I mean, I think that's the whole basis of the song is like, yeah, when you hear the title, "Fuck the Police," it's shocking because back in the day, no one put stuff out like that. And that's why it was so controversial. But I mean, now that we've learned about, you know, the race riots in Southern California and situations of police brutality that went on daily in those areas, that's their perspective. And I think that's the beautiful thing about music is whether you grew up in, you know, South Central, whether you grew up in Chicago or whether you grew up in the South, there's different perspectives. And
exactly,
if you love music and you hear all these things, I think you create empathy for a lot of different types of peoples in different social circles.
Yeah. I agree. 100%. Yeah.
That's like when people say that they love music. My immediate goal with that person is I want to know how they feel music, right? Like you say you love it, but you feel it.
Right.
It's important.
Yeah. Yeah. How you feel. Yeah. That's great. It's a good way to put it right there.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I mean, a lot of times music for, you know, because some kids don't want to go to class, they don't want to learn. That's how they learn things, is through different perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. And music can show you all that. You're right. Or at least can get your mind thinking and turning. Yeah, totally.
Because you guys have a good way of interconnecting things that you sing about that almost on the surface kind of feel seamless. But if you really kind of pay attention to what you're saying, I love, you know, like this album and You Hear Georgia, there's this perspective that you guys are sharing that is not preachy, because no one likes someone who's preachy. It's just it's a perspective that is really cool to kind of hear you guys sing about. And, you know, if you're just a surface music listener, it won't reach you. But if you really pay attention to what you guys are singing about, it does have a lot of meaning behind it.
Yeah. The storytelling in it, you know, can, you know, like you were saying earlier, make somebody, their wheels start turning, you start thinking and feeling a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, words are powerful. Charlie he has a handle on that for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think about Ain't Much Left to Me and Ain't Much Left of Me, and why that song connects with so many of your fans is because
Yeah.
it's a journey of life, because we all have things that happen. We all go through struggles and challenges. And as the further you get in life, you realize that there's more challenges than there are successes in life.
Yeah. Yeah. David Lee Murphy had a hand in that song.
Yeah.
He was, it's a great saying, and it goes with everybody. Everybody feels rode hard and put up wet at times. Everybody, no matter who you are. Even if you're a young kid and hadn't experienced life, you could feel that way because, I had to clean my room. You know what I mean? Everybody feels that way occasionally, So that's what I think that song resonated with people.
Absolutely. It's kind of like a song about life, and just, I think that's why it connects it, because it's a kind of like a rallying cry of just moving forward in life every time, and looking back, but learning on the stuff you learn and just kind of apply it to the future. And sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. But yeah,
Charlie has this when we play at live. He has this saying that goes, "This song goes out to anybody who's ever had to pay child support."
Maybe that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, no, same here.
Maybe that's why. Maybe now it makes all sense. Maybe that's why I play it on repeat 30 times in a row.
It's so funny when he says that. You see people in the audience, including myself, everybody kind of raise their hands slowly, like me.
It's I mean, but a lot of that music that you guys do. I mean, I remember when You Hear Georgia came out with the songs right after the pandemic,
right?
And it was a really, it touched on a lot of things I think that were important at the time as well.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to get that record out at all. It seemed, but when it finally did, people understood it. I'm trying to in my head at the moment trying to remember the titles of all the tracks. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No. It's. I think that's why Blackberry Smoke is so important. Is I've always defined you guys as the Allman Brothers of the new generation. Oh
wow.
You look at the family atmosphere, you look at the music, you look at the way you guys write your music and what you guys sing about. It's some deep stuff. I mean, it's not just a simple song. I mean, there's some complexity in the lyrics, gives you perspective, and you have the family atmosphere with constantly touring. With
playing it live, we're playing that stuff live, even though some of us didn't have a part in writing that particular song or a particular song. We play it live. We feel like we did,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's really cool. We definitely recorded on the record, but it feels that way. It feels like you had a hand in writing it when you're playing it live. We get it. I understand exactly where Charlie and whoever is writing those songs he does it with, or he chooses to do it. I can understand what he or they are saying. You know what I'm saying? And when they're coming up with these lyrics and stuff.
And you guys have a reputation of being a great live band too. And
I hope so.
You guys are. That is part of like playing it in the studio is one thing. Playing it live is a completely different animal. And every time I bring someone out to one of your shows who's never seen you guys, they always say, "Wow, they are phenomenal live." And
cool.
There's not a lot of you guys don't use a lot of bells and whistles. It's pretty simple, but you guys just sound absolutely phenomenal.
It's always been in the conviction of how you play. I was taught that by my mom when I started playing guitar. She was, if you're playing something, mean it. She was my momager for years. So, yeah, she told me a lot of, gave me a lot of good advice. She wasn't a musician herself, but she loved music and understood it. I think she knew she lost me to music immediately. So she had to get with the program too.
Well, you tell that story in the last interview, right? About,
oh yeah, that's right. I did tell you that.
Yeah, which is just amazing, about what was the album did she flip out about an album or something like that?
Oh, my Bark at the Moon record.
Yeah, that was it. I knew it was an
Awesome.
Ozzy record.
Yes. She didn't give it to me this year either. So I think I'm going to get that vinyl from her. Then she threw mine in the trash. But yeah, it's the conviction of how you play the music and when people see us live, I think they notice that in us. They notice that we mean what we're doing,
You guys know each other so well too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what you're up against up there when you're up there playing with either one of us, It's not knowing it's not knowing your place. It's just knowing what you contribute and what okay, I feel like I should be doing this, and you do it and it fits,
What's next for you guys?
Playing, touring, we got a full year of touring for sure. We're heading back out and we're going to be playing in Atlanta real soon. And celebrating Brit's life at Chastain Park. It's a concert venue, and we're looking forward to that. And just it's good. That's going to be an emotional day, emotional show. But it's something we've been wanting to do, so we chose that day. I cannot. The day escapes me. Shame on me for that. I've never been good with keeping dates in my head. I usually just go with the flow. But you can find out the date online and stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge moment for all you guys.
Oh yeah, I'll do my best to keep it together. The playing won't be a problem. It's just my eyes might be watered up the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, good for your fans to kind of have this moment too.
Yeah.
Is the full year touring? I know you guys are playing the Ryman as well.
That's coming up not too long from now too, in May. Like I said, the dates once again, but it's coming up in early May, and we're looking forward to that, man. I love playing the Ryman. It's a fantastic venue, and outside of the history in it, it just sounds super good in there. But I played there quite a few times, but I still am, how do you say it? It's not starstruck. It'd be, hall struck, like a hall. I'm hall struck, venue struck. You know what I mean? I'm freaked out that I'm playing these places. Still humble you're right. Humble. Yeah. Humble.
I got to get down there. I got to see that show at the Ryman. I've never been to the Ryman, and I love going to the show. But
dude, it's the Ryman is obviously it's legendary. It's a good room, man. It's a really good room. I went as a kid and never in my wildest dream thought I'd be playing in there. My dad was allowed, we went, and I was just like, man, I'm standing on the stage where I saw a concert at.
That's great. Well, Paul, man, as always, it's been a great conversation. Thanks for being my guest on the 600th episode. Thanks for being as honest and raw as you were talking about Brit. I really do appreciate that.
Oh man, no problem. Thanks for having me. The 600th guest. This is awesome. Happy 600th. That's cool.
Yeah, I can't believe myself that I've been doing it this long. So,
dude, you said 5 years in, right?
Yeah, it'll be 5 years at the end of June.
That is crazy. Seriously, congrats. That's cool.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on and listen to me rant.
No, anytime. Like I said, man, you got an open invitation. Always love having you on. I wish you came on more, but
dude, you got to get me, like I said last time, you got to get me and Brandon on here together. It'll be fun.
Let's do it, man. When you guys get another break, maybe towards the end of this year, we'll do it.
Oh yeah. Cool. I'm down. Just let me know.
Awesome, man.
And he'll be down too.
Well, everyone, that's Paul Jackson of Blackberry Smoke. All their links will be in the show notes, so you can check out all those tour dates, where they're playing. If you haven't seen them, you have to go see them. One of the best live bands in music today. Also, don't forget to check out The Hook Rocks on all social media platforms at The Hook Rocks. I'm your host, Jay Scott. Thanks again for tuning in today and all the previous 599 episodes. I appreciate it. Take care of each other, stay safe, and we will talk soon. Thank you.